What is the crack, everyone? Episode 29 of the B2B Sports podcast. Sam is here, standard
Yes, always.
procedure. Let's just jump straight into it. Liverpool are 1-0 down in the Champions League right now.
They are after 3 minutes. How mad! And did you see the goal?
I didn't know. I didn't.
Weird goal. It was a great goal. Basically, cross comes in, back post. I think he's going to tap it in because it's like he's on the back post and the goalkeeper's scrambling. He could have scored, but it seems like he mishit it. So he basically squared it across the goal to the other player, who then scored in an empty net.
Really?
Yeah, or something. Yeah, it's a weird looking goal. You don't expect it to happen, but fairs.
Puts Liverpool under the cosh a little bit.
It does. I think there's still 1-0 and it's nearly the end of the half. So it's interesting.
We shall see.
I hope Villarreal can do something. Put something out of the bag.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say on my notes. It's got like a Liverpool through, basically. That's what I was.
Really?
Thought he was done and dusted already. I'm not gonna lie.
Just because the first leg was so one-sided.
He was one-sided. Yeah. I watched sort of half of the game, sort of bits and bobs, and they just couldn't get the ball. Like they were just clearing the lines, hoofing it back to Liverpool. Liverpool just coming back and attacking. That's all it was.
Exactly.
So, but they are at Villarreal, aren't they? So
they are
under the cosh.
They're a bit better at home. But
what do you think will be the outcome in the second leg of the Real Madrid Man City tie? It's 4-3 to Man City going into the second leg, but it is at Madrid this time around.
I would like Real Madrid to go through. Obviously, I think both semi-finals, I want Real Madrid and Villarreal to go through. So I think Real Madrid could do it. But again, if it's as open as it was, I think City will be able to score again. So I hope it's a good game like it was last time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we touched on it last podcast that Real Madrid, they concede a lot of goals, but they somehow stay in these ties. They're somehow in it. They're only a goal down essentially. So, I mean, like Sam said, they've got to stop conceding these leaky goals. And definitely they have a chance 100% of going through, especially their backyard. Kevin De Bruyne is unplayable right now. I think he's so good at the minute. He's literally unreal.
He is playing very well. Him and Phil Foden is playing great. Jesus is playing great.
Jesus is in the goals
somehow. It gets linked to Arsenal for once. And he's like, I'm better than Arsenal. I'll score 6 goals in 3 games or something. So,
that's what a link to Arsenal does to you. It makes guys go up another level.
Motivates you. Exactly. Well, now all the Arsenal fans are like, can you stop? Because we're about to get you for 30 mil, but now you're going to be 60.
With Burnley and Everton winning, does that put Leeds in sort of position for the last sort of drop zone place, if you will? Because they're struggling.
They are. I would still, despite Everton winning somehow against Chelsea this weekend, I still think that Everton are more likely to go down. Somehow Burnley playing out of their skins, reducing a 1-0 deficit in 2 minutes and 8 in the 18th minute is ridiculous for them.
Ben me manager of the month, mate.
I hope so. Imagine player manager get manager of the month.
Yeah. Honestly.
So I still think Everton. I'd like Everton to go down more than the other two. I think Leeds. They haven't really found their feet after Bielsa's left. So
no. Yeah, they just don't look like Leeds. Leeds were the high pressing, counter attacking. Always putting you under pressure, annoying. Pause that there.
Second goal.
No.
Oh,
Villarreal
2-0 to Villarreal.
Goal alert.
Equal. They're equal on aggregate.
Oh, we love it. We love it, boys. We
Wow.
love it. Also, that brings us that gone on another little tangent. A mini sort of shocker award to BBC Sport for basically tweeting out that Liverpool.
Oh, I saw in the driver's seat to win like the Premier League.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Like if both of them win all of their last games, like City win the league.
Exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the article was about something about winning the quadruple. But obviously, if City do win all their Premier League games, they've won won the title. But honestly, Villarreal, fair play, exactly. Brought it back. We've got a game on our hands now. Jesus Christ, that's what he's done and dusted. Bloody hell.
Francis Coquelin with a header.
Francis Coquelin, Arsenal reject.
Arsenal reject, yeah. Jesus. I mean, that's great news.
That is great news. Sam's buzzing on that one.
I am. If anything, like I want Chelsea to win the FA Cup.
Wow.
More than Liverpool.
Wow.
Also, why is the FA Cup final before the end of the season?
I don't know. Is it because is it because of the COVID sort of fixtures around the winter time?
I mean, they play them midweeks and stuff, and like there's a double game week this week for quite a few teams, but you think you just push it back?
Strange, isn't it? Strange.
Yeah, I don't like that idea that the FA Cup it's like the Carabao Cup is played in February, and it's like, yeah, it's a cup, but there's so much else going on.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why it's sort of got the name as a milk cup, because it's sort of in a weird time of the season. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's getting to the swing of the Premier League, and then all of a sudden you've got Carabao Cup.
It's like your mid-season awards, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't like the fact that it's literally like there's two Premier League games after that.
It does seem weird because like all the other English leagues are sort of finishing this weekend, or have potentially already finished. And it's just seemed weird that the Premier League's still got 4 more games to go. You know, still got a long time.
Maybe it is the COVID stuff is just elongated a bit. I didn't really take that into account, but I still find it weird that I think it's like 14th of May, isn't it?
Yeah, I
think so. Final.
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
We'll quickly touch on.
I'm going down to London on the 14th of May.
Are you? Oh yeah.
I realise that's going to be effort.
Yeah. But make sure you sort of travel at the right times, and you know you might be on a train with Liverpool fans.
To be fair, it might be. We're driving, so it's okay.
That's right.
We won't be on a train, but I realise it's actually probably going to be like when the game's on, because the game's going to be on like what, 4:30 or something, 5:30.
Yeah, I think it's around 5 o'clock kickoff, 4:45, actually, 5 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Quickly touch on our two teams' Premier League performances. Sam mentioned it earlier, but Chelsea did get beat to Everton. I have no idea what that game was. It was just complete mess from start to finish.
Chelsea were awful.
Chelsea just looked gassed. We looked not with it at all.
Couldn't do anything.
We were getting wound up. We were biting on the bait that Jeremy Mina was throwing out, especially to Havertz.
Literally got Havertz didn't move a muscle when he tried to make him. Tried to make him flinch.
Yeah,
he just stood there like a boss, and then he pushed him. You're like, well, okay.
He ruined it then, didn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think obviously being at Everton, the crowd were up for it. Everton needed the win. Chelsea, you could argue they do need the win now.
They do now, yeah. I didn't realise that Arsenal are only 3 points off them.
Arsenal now 3 points. Tottenham are 5. So we have really got to be careful. And if we this is not the time of the season to go into a little bit of a blip. So this has happened to Chelsea the past few seasons. We've always had the back end, sort of the running has always been a bit suspect, and then we always sort of manage to clinch top 4, whatever.
Yeah,
Sort of
because
the
I
last
think
couple of games.
was it last season that, or the season before, that we ended up third somehow,
Yeah, yeah,
managing to get third out of nowhere, because Chelsea kind of capitulated at the end of
yeah.
the season.
Strange,
So
strange
you
how it
you do
works.
have this run of. I think that's why it was so shocking that you won the Champions League, because you're normally really bad at the end of the season.
And it's strange, isn't it? Because obviously people, pundits, did tell Chelsea to be up there this year for the title, but now looking at it in hindsight, we're like 20 odd points off. Like the gap is still just as great as it
Huge.
was, a few seasons ago. So these sort of best of the rest clubs need to pull the finger out again and see if we can
Definitely,
compete with Liverpool and City next year. But
definitely.
how did United get on last night anyway, Sam?
United won 3-0.
Wow.
A nice commanding win that, I mean, I don't think I've seen it for a while. We for one, we scored 3 and we didn't concede any. Like, that's unheard of.
Comfortable win, mate. A
Yeah,
comfortable win. When could you
since
last
when
say?
have we had a comfortable win? Like our last home game of the season. What a time to do it. Yeah, great performance. Ronaldo scoring again.
Yeah, unreal.
Bruno Fernandes scoring finally.
Mm.
For all his, I mean, he still apparently has created the most chances in the league, but that
What's that all
really hasn't been
about?
shown him. I don't know. It has not shown anywhere. Or just shows that our strikers are shit. I think Alanga got a goal at the end as well. No, Varane, sorry. Varane got a goal. His first goal for United.
Fair play. Fair play.
So,
What was it
yeah,
like?
I
Header
think
from corner or something?
it was a volley from a corner.
Oh, nice one. Nice.
Yeah,
Did Ronaldo can't even talk.
Ronaldo.
Did he whisper a few words into the camera? Something about hinting something or other? Hinting a little
Well, I mean, so somebody tweeted that he said into the camera, "I'm not going anywhere."
Mm.
And then I think Ronaldo commented on it saying, "I didn't say that."
Oh, okay.
So I don't think there's any. I don't think he said anything like whispered to the camera or anything. So I think it's just a wait and see thing. It's very much. I think when Ten Hag comes over and has a chat and gets to kind of fully understand where the squad's going and everything, Ronaldo will make his decision. I don't think anyone could have expected that he would. I mean, you can assume that he probably would be a highest goal scorer and everything this season, but I don't think you would have expected that he would be
The only
our
goal.
best player, literally the only goal scorer and our best player the whole season.
Yeah.
So it'd be very nice for him to stay, but I understand if he didn't want to be there.
I mean, the project. It depends what Eric Ten Hag has got up his sleeve. I'm guessing that
Yeah, but he's 37.
Yeah, I suppose
He
so.
doesn't have. I mean, I know he's an anomaly, but he doesn't have that many years left, and he wants to play where he's going to win. And at the moment, that's not United.
No, you're right. You're right, and
It
it
isn't.
depends how long this transitional period is going to be because
Yeah.
look at when Klopp and Pep took over Liverpool and City. It did take a good few years to build the squads that we've got now. So, yeah, I do see that. It'd be a shame.
I'd obviously love for him to stay, and finally he's taking penalties.
Yeah, finally, he's only taken like 3/4 of the season.
I just ever say he's Pinaldo, and then United are the only team that ever makes him not take penalties. It's literally his name. There's so many memes about him just taking penalties. It's just ridiculous. But
We will move away from the Premier League because we've got to talk a little bit about Fulham. Record-breaking Fulham. The first Championship team to score 100 goals. And then Mitrovic, mate, what an absolute boy.
He's almost scored half of them.
Yeah, 43 goals in 43 appearances. He's broke the record, I think, for most goals in the Championship. Bit of a mad stat. He's got more goals than Hull. He's got more goals than Peterborough. And he's got more goals than Barnsley.
Ridiculous.
Not all those put together, by the way, but just
no, I can see. Yeah, I'm just looking. Jesus Christ!
Absolutely.
I mean, he's only 2 off Derby. I can't believe that.
Absolute unit. So, mate, you got to shout him out. Absolute Donny.
Yeah.
But just don't leave me in this sort of false sense of security by putting him in my fantasy team next year when he comes up.
I think that's a mistake. I wouldn't say it's a mistake. I think a lot of people put him in their team. I think it'll be a very obvious choice. But I mean, he was in the Premier League for a season and
He was,
it was awful.
He was.
So
to me, though, he doesn't look. He just is he a target man? Because I don't know. He's a big guy. He's a big unit, but he's got good feet. So.
He does. I don't think he's that much of a target man. So I don't think he scores that many headers or like. I don't know. I've never watched him play that much, to be honest. But yeah, he is ridiculous. But it's the same. Like people put Timu Pukki in their team beginning of the season.
That's true.
And he scored early and then never scored, and then he scored a couple recently. But
yeah, there's another big championship game going on tonight, Sam.
Is it just finished? I think.
What was the score? Bournemouth played Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth are currently second, I believe.
I think Bournemouth.
Really close.
It's currently in the 99th minute. I don't know why. But Bournemouth are 1-0 up.
Wow. Okay.
So that means
it looks like I think there's one more game left after this one, but it looks like Bournemouth could clinch promotion.
Yeah, that would clinch the promotion.
Yeah. Fair play. I do like Nottingham Forest. I'm not a big Championship football fan, but I've heard their story and they've had a great turnaround season.
When their last manager was sacked, they were last.
Last.
I mean, it was September. Like that's a month of football. It's not much, but they were last in September, and they're about to finish third, probably. I think that's a pretty good story.
That's pretty good. We've also got to talk about Cobblers, because I mentioned Cobblers on the podcast a couple of weeks ago as my shock of the week, actually, in fact, because they were comfortably in second place. Then they had a dip in form. After I put them in that shock of the week category, they've actually had hit form. They've hit good form again.
Oh, Jesus, they've won 3 and drawn 2 in their last 5.
Yeah, but this is the thing. We've got one more game left of the season. Cobblers are sitting in third place in that automatic promotion spot, but fourth place are on exactly the same points, and fifth place are 1 point behind them as well.
Sixth place are 1 point behind that.
Yeah, and so if Cobblers, the simple fact is, if Cobblers win, they're getting promoted.
Well, playoff football.
No, it's top 3. Top 3 go up.
Or in League 2, top 3 go up.
Top 3 go up in League 2.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
But there's playoffs.
I know.
So do 4 teams go up then?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
League 2.
Oh yeah, top 3.
Top 3. There you go. So Cobblers, if you win, you're in, unless the team below you score about 10 goals. So
who are they playing next? That's the
we're
thing.
playing Barrow, who are down there. I think they're
Barrow 21st.
Towards the bottom of the league. So come on, Cobblers. Let's go, lads.
They've got this.
It's got to League 1 and go straight back down again, because that's what you do best.
Well, yeah, you can't just perennially stay in League 2, basically.
Yeah.
The most winningest club in League 2, I think. So.
Yeah, indeed.
Got to have your record somehow.
Yeah. So up the Cobblers. What FPL news have you got to bring, Sam? Yeah, me too.
Awful.
Me too.
Awful week. Knocked out of every single cup, bar one because it hasn't started yet. It starts next week. So yeah, pretty much just shit.
Yeah.
I think I got 27 in my last round. I don't think I'm going to catch you anymore.
No. Although, have you seen this next game week?
Yeah, all my players except from one are on double game week, so I'm quite happy with that. But I still don't think I'm catching you, so I think I'm going to have to do a forfeit.
But yeah,
I don't even know why. Like, all my defenders were awful. Some of the 2 people didn't play. I think the only saving grace, I think, is one person on my bench comes on to play.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of people had a couple of shockers. I think the key sort of FPL players aren't sort of hitting top form at the minute.
Yeah,
I've just
bench
had a
Salah.
shot. Yeah, Salah. I'm tempted just to take him out and just go for a massive gamble, to be honest with you.
Oh, in the last 2 weeks.
So I don't know. And my mate in another league, he's I don't know how he's resisted the temptation, and he's triple captain. He's got a free hit still, and he's got a bench boost still. I'm like, how do you
Oh
go
my
through the whole
word!
season not use any of those? Like, it's brutal.
Wow, he's only got 4 weeks left. He has to
Yeah,
use
so
all of those.
he's triple captain in Salah this week. So double
Wow.
game week, triple captain Salah. I think the whole team, his starting 11 is on a double game week, all of his players. So
Bloody hell.
yeah, it's a bit mad. He's a bit mad.
Fair play.
Yeah. Last quickly bit of football news before we move on. What is going on at Chelsea? I have no idea. Is the club going to go into liquidation?
Is somebody buying it?
Is the Todd Bowl group buying it? Is the Jim Ratcliffe group buying it or whatever? I have no idea, mate. He's going right like over my head, and I've got to Scooby what's going on.
No, I don't know. I think it's just a wait and see job at the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully it takes a while, so you just don't have any players
No.
left. That's the plan.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't there something in the written that like the sale of the club has to go through by the 31st of May? But
Really?
at the minute,
I didn't know that.
but at the minute, Abramovich is sort of demanding that his loans are be repaid, and that's what's causing some sort of stall in the sale. And God knows, mate. God knows what's going on.
It's just going to be a waiting game.
Yeah, it's a mess, mate. It's a mess. But F1. Let's move on to a bit of F1. It is Miami. It's race week.
It is exciting. First time Miami. First time I've seen it in Miami. First time I think it's been in Miami.
First time in Miami.
So yeah, very exciting. See
what do you make of the
fake marina?
Fake marina.
Like, what's the point?
It's
it's literally in Miami. Like, fair enough if your track isn't by the sea, that's on you. But don't put fake ocean around some boats that are actually on like wheels. That's just ridiculous.
So strange.
But it's so American that it's not surprising.
No, it's not. You don't get it. But like, there's been a couple of sort of Sky Sports reporters. I think the one in particular tried to do the back. He was like doing the backstroke or something on it, and he became like a meme. But close up, it does.
It looks awful.
But like, what I don't get is like they've had how long to prepare this track, and all of a sudden it feels like they've just
put some boards over the floor.
Yeah, makeshift like sea in the last couple of days before the race. You know
exactly. So I don't really get it. But hopefully it doesn't take away from the event, because I think it'll be massive. Like F1's at the moment is massive in America. Haas are going home. Home race for them, which will be fun. And I think there's lots of long straights. I think Red Bull will have the advantage.
Yeah, it does look like a quite nice track, and obviously Red Bull dominated in the straights so far this year. Obviously, we didn't really touch on F1 last podcast, but Verstappen dominated in sort of a rainy Imola conditions. Absolutely smashed it. Leclerc spun off trying to chase down Perez.
I think he was trying to do too much. I think the best he could have hoped for was third, and just pushed too much.
Yeah, he pushed too hard, didn't he? Just curbed it, spun. But are you predicting another Verstappen victory? I
think Verstappen's going to win this weekend. I hope so, also because I've triple captained him on.
Did you? Oh, team. Nice one. Nice. I got a funny story about that actually, because our friend Callum, we've taken the piss out of him on this podcast before about his F1 fantasy team. Whilst I was out running with him the other week before the Imola race, I told him to get some Ferrari people in there because it's Ferrari's home race. At the time, they were dominating. So he took the risk.
Oh God, Ollie, you just absolutely rinsed him.
This is a guy who's Red Bull through and through at the minute, and he changed his allegiances this week only to Ferrari after my advice. He missed out. He missed out. I think he took Verstappen out as well.
To be fair, he didn't for Imola. He had Verstappen.
Oh, did he still have Verstappen?
Yeah, but he had his like triple driver or double driver on Ricardo, who obviously went out on the first lap.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, he only got 167 points.
He's 2 weeks behind as well.
Yep. Yeah, he's on 291, and then Stuart T is on 473, just above him.
Also, have you heard the news that Porsche and Audi are gonna
2026
enter the F1? Yeah, in 2026.
Yeah,
Crazy.
exciting.
That's crazy. I've heard a lot.
I think because there'll be new engine regulations brought in that year.
Right.
So apparently that's why they're coming in.
Inexpensive. What teams though?
I don't know.
Apparently, there's quite a lot of accounts on Twitter saying that like Porsche are going to nick half of like Red Bull's like staff and whatnot. And so,
Well, I think Porsche and Audi are owned by VW. I think
so. I'm not 100%.
So it's just VW are going to own that all like 2 F1 teams. That's mad.
Crazy, honestly. But still a few more years to wait before that is the case.
Yeah.
Did you see Bottas's Insta story? Like, he's obviously in Miami at the minute, but he's casually just riding like 75k bike rides, like races. He's racing in a bike race in Miami at the minute.
I've seen there's like videos of him cycling, but I didn't know he was going to races before.
Yeah, he was going
before his thing.
A race before his race. You know, like what the
I love Bottas. I think he's great.
He's so cool. He's so cool. But yeah, I do want him to pick up a good result. Obviously, Norris is on form right now. Norris picked up third in Imola.
Yeah, a bit luckily, but
yeah, a little bit.
They are kind of fighting best of the rest at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the big thing is obviously still Hamilton. I mean, he's still really struggling when his teammate isn't.
Yeah, George got fourth, man. Like,
yeah, I think he's got like third, fourth, fifth in like the first 4 races. Like that's really consistent for a car that isn't good.
He isn't good at all. He's not good at all.
So I think obviously there needs to be more races, but Hamilton's for some reason really struggling.
I did feel a little bit sorry for Hamilton last race because he was stuck in like a DRS train, weren't he? Like obviously Gasly was in front of him, Albon was in front of him, and obviously the car isn't quick enough. And every time Hamilton got DRS, Gasly got DRS. So there was no chance for him to fully overtake. He tried it a couple of times, but just didn't have enough.
Needs to drive better, doesn't he? Needs to qualify higher.
That's very true.
Needs to not be outperformed by his new teammate.
He's struggling at the minute.
Who you would have thought would be automatic second driver. Like he's not on equal terms to Hamilton in that garage, and he's outperforming him.
All right, draft day, NFL.
Bit of a interesting few days of the draft.
How would you rate the Pats draft? What are you saying? How did it go?
I think it was surprising. We took somebody for our first pick who nobody really thought we were going to pick.
No.
I mean, especially the Rams didn't think we were going to pick him. The video of Sean McVay, like live reacting to it.
He was like laughing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like, we thought we was going to go like 120th. So you never know how to feel about it because obviously the draft is anybody could be good. Obviously, normally the first rounders you've seen them perform and they've performed well, but on the biggest stage, like anyone, like undrafted players can be stars.
Yeah.
So I think it's sometimes a bit. I think draft picks are given too much like gravitas. Like when you trade and something, you get a draft pick because of it. You're like, that could be a really shit draft pick.
Tom Brady, for
complete
example,
bust. So
you can
exactly,
never,
never underestimate.
underestimate. Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, we've taken the quickest wide receiver in the draft. We've taken the quickest running back in the draft. We've got a kick returner, I think 3 defensive players. So it was an interesting. I think we've been quite aggressive. Apparently, I think ESPN rated us as like a C- for our drafting.
Oh,
So I'm not quite sure how to feel about it,
meh.
but I'm excited for the next season because I think Mac Jones has some weapons.
Yeah, well, obviously, Mac Jones is just going to keep developing, isn't he? Like
Yeah.
that in itself is exciting. He already had a good first year, and he could potentially get even better.
Yeah.
No, pretty sick. I mean, the Vikings. I was pretty pleased with the Vikings draft, to be honest. There was a lot of money ball going on. A lot of trading up and then trading down and then trading back up again. But yeah, ultimately we picked up weapons in the secondary. We've got safety, we've got a cornerback, got a guard, a linebacker. So yeah, I am pleased. They're areas that we needed to sort of work on. There was a nice video of sort of one of the linebackers that we picked up. He's Ghanaian and he had quite a cool conversation with sort of our new GM on the phone. He was like from one Ghanaian to another Ghanaian. And he's like, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool seeing. He was like really emotional and stuff. And yeah, I was pleased. I don't know what ESPN rated us though. I'm interested.
I think it was like an A- or something.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
I think mainly because you filled all the positions you needed.
Yeah, and I think we utilized, like we traded with like our divisional rivals. That's what I'm hearing. Like
Okay.
we traded with like Green Bay and Detroit quite a lot, and that's how we sort of shifted some of our picks around.
Yeah.
Honestly, draft day is so confusing. It's confusing to me and Sam, and we've been following the NFL for about 4 or 5 years, probably more now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult. You can trade up, you can trade down. So it's not set in stone your picks that you get.
No, because like we were meant to pick 23rd. I think we ended up picking 28th or 29th.
Yeah.
That first one we drafted down to get a guard that apparently would have gone in like the 3rd round. I think that's the main reason they called us. It was bad drafting because everyone thinks he would have still been there years later. So
there was a bit of a mad move that happened. AJ Brown went to the Eagles, which I didn't see coming. Obviously, draft picks are involved in that. But yeah,
and then also the Ravens traded Hollywood Brown. Did he go to the Cardinals? Which, if he did, now makes sense. Seeing as
he did go to the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, seeing as what's his name? Like suspended for 7 games for
DeAndre
enhancing joint.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah.
So that makes sense why they traded and why the Ravens let him go.
That's such an unusual one. Like, I don't know what substance it was, but I think it was really unusual. I don't know if people were joking or not, but people were saying that was he like trying different stuff instead of getting the COVID vaccine. So I don't know if he was trying some weird. I don't know if it was intentionally like I'm gonna get roided up or whatever. But
yeah,
I think he might have done something like that to avoid getting the vaccine. Some sort of medical herbal. Don't know.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that is a strange one, especially because I like D-Hop as well. I rate him high.
Yeah, and he's great for them. And I mean, they've got a good wide receiver now in Hollywood Brown as well. But it was an interesting trade, especially for the Ravens. But
yeah, who did the number 1 pick go to? I think it was the Jags, weren't it? I think it was
the Jags. Yeah, the Jags got it.
Which is mad, isn't it? 2 years in a row, number 1 pick.
They're just shit.
They're just shit. Terrible.
Yeah, they didn't in the end go for the person I thought was going to go. I think it was Aiden Hutchinson or something. Went second, which I thought he was going to go first. But yeah, a lot of people dropped down. Like there was a quarterback who dropped to he was meant to go in the first round and dropped to the third round.
Wow. Damn.
Nobody really knows why. Apparently, he lost out. If he was drafted in the first round, he was set to make like 30 mil. Because he went in the third round, he's about to make like 7.
Mate, that's killer.
Yeah. But he went to the Titans, and the Titans quarterback just come out and said, like, I don't think it's my job to mentor him. That sounds like a nice toxic
toxic
quarterback room, that, isn't it?
I love to be a new quarterback drafted into NFL, and my experienced guy that I'm going to be looking up to is like, oh no, I don't want to.
No, exactly.
Don't want to train
Exactly.
you, teach you, nothing.
Exactly. You got to do it like Aaron Rodgers. Be like, this guy one day is going to. I can obviously try and beat him on the field and get that starting position still, but he's one day going to overtake me. So
yeah.
Might as well.
Also tomorrow, Sam, I don't know if you know, but the away teams for NFL UK are announced.
Oh, are they? Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, May the 4th. Be with you. Yeah, tomorrow at 1 p.m. I think it was. So
nice. Oh, because it could be Patriots.
It could. There's a chance it could be the Patriots or the Vikings as well. I think the Vikings do play both Packers and the Saints.
Yeah, I think we play both of them, or is it we play the Bucks? We could be playing in Germany, one of them.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Obviously, if one of our teams gets picked, we'll almost certainly be trying to get tickets. That's for sure.
100%.
That is for sure.
That's a no-brainer. That.
We'll move on to a bit of boxing and NFL news because it's been a bit of a mad week. Obviously, you had the Fury Dillian White fight that happened not last week, the week before. Fury knocked him out with a naughty little uppercut and then gave him a little push to be sure as well.
Yeah, and then like obviously Dillian White's come out and said it was illegal because he hit his head and it knocked him out more.
Yeah.
When you see the replay, he falls on his back.
He falls on his ass, mate.
Yeah, and then he slightly touches his head on the canvas, and you're like, okay.
I hate when people do that. Like, obviously, yeah, the push was probably a little bit forceful when you've just been uppercutted.
Yeah.
I don't know this rules specifically, but you're just coming across like just a bad loser, you know? You're just coming
exactly.
Just take the L. You got knocked out. Like, just take it.
You got knocked out by an undefeated heavyweight champion. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
You got paid. Yeah, just take it.
Is he going to retire? I don't think he is. He keeps.
I mean, every interview he's given, he's been pretty.
Yeah, he's staying true to it, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he has.
I think he will retire.
He's still going to fight Ngannou, I think.
Do you think that'd be a sick fight?
I think he's still doing that.
I think he will retire, but I don't think we'll see him for a while. And then obviously when the opportunity does go up, obviously you've got Usyk that is in Ukraine right now, so he's not fighting anytime soon.
Yeah.
And obviously this Ngannou fight could take years in the making. I think he's got to get out of his UFC contract first. But I don't know. I could probably see Fury coming out of retirement or something in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he had retired before, didn't he? So
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He called it a day.
He was like 18 stone or something, and then came back to fight and is almost undisputed heavyweight champion.
Just honestly, that's so annoying. Why would you not go undisputed? Like, that would annoy me. Like,
yeah,
obviously you've got family and stuff at home, and that.
I think because like he's been the champ for a while now, and that fight just hasn't got any closer.
No.
So I feel like for him, he's just like, I'm not going to chase it for years because they keep fighting somebody else.
There's so much politics in boxing as well, more so than the UFC. It takes ages for two sides to agree on a deal, and then you've got BT, you've got all the TV promotion, BT, Sky Sports, you've got Danster now in the mix as well. The Zone or whatever they're called, but I think it is difficult for these fights to get booked, which is why people have enough of waiting. There was a sick women's fight in Madison Square Garden at the weekend. Katie Taylor
Kate
versus
Taylor, yeah.
Amanda Serrano. For some reason, Jake Paul's got in the mix there. He's promoting it.
He was promoting her. So he
Promoting
was
it.
promoting her, and Eddie Hearn was promoting Kate Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know how he's got in amongst it. I have no idea.
I think he put some money in to
Yeah, must
help promote her. He must have done. He's trying to get into boxing. I love the interviews of Eddie Hearn and him. Just because Eddie Hearn's like, yeah, I don't think he'll ever be a world champion. I think that's he's never going to beat a world champion. He's never going to be. I mean, he's all right. He's a good boxer, but he's never going to be a world champion. And Jake Paul's like, did you not see me get knockout of the year? He's like, yeah, but another fighter on my like Canelo, he's like world champion. That's bigger than knockout of the year.
I think Jake Paul said to him, give me any fighter on your promotion that's under 10 fights and I'll beat him. And Eddie Hearn sort of looked at him, shocked, and was like, I can name 4 inches that could beat you.
I did like how he was being just completely frank. He wasn't even doing it just to wind him up. He was just, it's truly what he believed. It was just like, yeah, there's loads who beat you, mate.
So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, because he was being nice to him. He was like, I think he's a good fighter too. He can fight. I just don't think he's going to ever be world champion. I think that's fair. And yeah, he's not faced an actual proper boxer yet.
Oh, he hasn't.
Which I think Eddie Hearn was also saying is like, and obviously Jake Paul's like, yeah, I fought a 5-time world champion. It's like at UFC. UFC fighter, like different, very different. So yeah, I did enjoy that, and also they put a £1 million bet on that he was going to win, and Jake Paul lost. So another thing to be happy about. Although Eddie Hearn was like, I don't want the money. Like it was a stupid bet.
I'd push that through. I'd be like, I want to make this guy look like a mug.
I think he did. To be fair, like he was like, he should give it to a charity or something. So he was being even more gracious. It made me quite like Eddie Hearn. To be fair,
yeah, it did actually. It did. I've not really been that fond of Eddie Hearn when he's been promoting AJ and stuff over the years, and it's just been a little bit annoying. But yeah, he's come across pretty well in the past year or two, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely, and especially there, he came across like a really down to earth. And just wanted the best boxer to win, and just he thought it was really good.
Fair play, Katie Taylor as well. That last round, if anyone hadn't seen that last round between them two, you should watch it. They're just going all out. It's
just a great fight.
It was good. And also now UFC announced that they're going to have another London card, which is pretty sick.
This year as well.
This year in July. Yeah.
In July. That's quick.
It's July, yeah. And I text Callum to say, do you want to go? And he was like, I would love to, but it's literally like 6 days before my wedding.
Is it that weekend before?
How much money or whatever would have. I mean, I said to him that's fair, but to be honest, Callum, after the mess last time, like
I doubt we never get tickets.
Not going to be able to get tickets anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No,
you might be able
to get tickets to the NFL.
Yeah, you might be able to get the boys around getting to watch it, but yeah, I don't think tickets to the O2. I think that's near enough impossible.
Was it like the 23rd or 24th?
Yeah, it's the week before, so it's 23rd, I think.
Yeah,
23rd.
But
yeah. As we close the podcast up, I just want to cover that Ronnie O'Sullivan.
What a legend!
Ronnie O'Sullivan. He beat Judd Trump 18 frames to 13 to win his 7th world snooker title, equaling Stephen
Hendry.
Yeah.
What a legend. I mean, I think he's the best to ever do it. I think for somebody who's so naturally talented at it, he's put in the work, but he's just so natural. Like he's ambidextrous, he can use both hands. It's ridiculous watching him play, and he's so nonchalant about it. He almost couldn't give a shit about snooker.
He's a personality, isn't he? Like you either love him or you hate him, but he says how he feels, and that's kind of what I respect about him. You know.
Oh, 100%. No, he's great. I've always quite liked watching him. He's just a wizard.
He's a wizard,
and even when he loses, he's fine. He's like. he's all right with it. He doesn't have a hissy fit or yeah, I think he's great.
What I liked as well is that obviously he's brought snooker, which is a very traditional old man sport. He's brought it to the mainstream, and he's got people from that probably wouldn't have even batted an eyelid about snooker 10, 20 years ago, whatever, 20, 30 years ago. He's now got them watching it. And it was nice to see that he was actually a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
And he's sort of been open and stuff, like how snooker's actually didn't care for it at one point and he struggled mentally. Yeah. And it was just a paycheck to him. But to see him a little bit emotional after winning that, it was quite nice. It was quite nice.
Yeah, he got emotional. He went straight over to Robertson. No, John Trump, isn't it? So I don't want to say Robertson. And like hugged him, and I think he probably said thank you at that point. It was like he just it was very emotional, and equaling Stephen Hendry is just mad. Like 7 is so much.
Yeah, and
he's won so much other stuff as well. I think he's probably one of the richest snooker players out there.
Yeah, he must be.
Just because he wins so much. I mean, so rich that I think in one tournament, he was annoyed by how much the bonus was when you get 147. So it was on for 147 on the last shot, just missed. And they were like, why did you miss? He was like, what's the point? It's like there's literally less than probably 100 147s in history.
And he's
got, I think he's got most of them.
He's got quite a few, and quite.
I want to see that. I want to see the stats.
He's got quite a few.
Jesus Christ! Just a quick note: Liverpool have scored 2.
Oh bloody hell! Jesus, how have we?
2 in 5 minutes.
I think that's them through, then, isn't it?
I think so. Okay, there's been 176.
176 in history,
which isn't a lot when you think about.
I think
how many snooker matches there've been in history.
I think
find
when I was looking at the stats for the World Snooker Championship title and stuff, I think the records began in like 1961 or 69. I think any game before that was classed as an exhibition match. I don't think it was actually recorded.
Okay, so like the first 147 was back in 1982.
Really? Okay.
I mean, O'Sullivan has 15.
15.
To be fair, John Higgins has 12.
Is he?
Yeah.
Don't like him.
No?
No.
Not a big Higgins fan.
No.
What's wrong with him?
Didn't he get done?
Was he the one that had a go at the amateur?
I don't know, but I swear he got done being like a cheat or something, or match fixing or betting or something. He got done. I'm sure he did. And I think he's a bit of a moody git as well. Sorry, John, if you're listening.
Absolute moody git. Yeah, Ronnie, what a guy.
Yeah, what a guy. What a guy. And on that note, I mean, to be fair, it could tie in to whether you want to name him Hero of the Week.
I think he was going to be mine.
That's fair enough. Hero of the Week. I saw a picture on Twitter, and it's just got to be Don Carlo Ancelotti with his cigar in his mouth, like an absolute mafia boss. I've still got a soft spot for him after his little tenure at Chelsea, sacked prematurely, I think, still. But yeah, I do love Carlo.
I mean, to win both, like all the major basically trophies. I mean, it's a good achievement, but he only won one of each.
Do you not rate him as highly as
most of them?
Do you not rate him that highly then?
Yeah, no, I still rate him like up with the Mourinho's, and I still rate him up there. Like, there's no doubt he's a great manager, but he never seems to stay somewhere long.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he wins the league there, but he seems to kind of win the league and dip.
And also in his grand scheme of his career, right? Everton's such a weird move, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. He went
Real
from
Madrid
Everton
twice.
to leaving and then winning the league with Real Madrid, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I still think he's obviously a great manager. I think he said for some reason on the or in the interviews like, yeah, I could happily retire now, but if Real Madrid wanted me to stay here for 10 years, I'd stay here for 10 years. You know, like, those are very contradicting statements.
Yeah, definitely. That don't make sense, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Any shockers of the week in mind?
Aspilicueta.
Aspilicueta. He's had not a very good past few weeks.
No, it all came down to this week, where he just, I don't know what he did, but it wasn't good.
There's rumours of him sort of leaving potentially and going to Barca on a 1-year deal. It's a shame. I don't know. He's been a great captain, great servant. And what made him a great player? He was Mr. Consistent, but of late he's been Mr. Inconsistent. We had a good laugh at him trying to handball tackle in the United game. That was pretty funny. He's given away a couple penalties. He's started a few fights.
Yeah.
So, it's not been a good couple of weeks really for Aspilicueta. We shall see what happens to him at the end of the year. My shocker is the shocking stewarding. I don't know what game it was at, but it's been a meme on Twitter all this week. Did you see it? There was fans coming on the pitch for what seemed like a promotion party.
Was it then where they were just...
And the stewards have got their arms spread out, still about 6 feet in between each steward, even with their arms spread out, and they're just not stopping any fan that's coming.
No.
There's no
running
point.
Straight through the arms.
There's no point.
It's like, oh no. Oh no, he got through again. Guys, how could we stop this? Oh, he got through again. It's just, it's a ridiculous video.
There's no point.
It's like the meme of that Spurs security guard doing like
the pat down
security checks, just pat down, but just like the air pat down around them.
It's quite funny. And that wraps up the pod. If you did enjoy this pod or even the last podcast where we did a little bit of a switch up, we did a bit of a watch along and watched the Man United Chelsea game and sort of clipped it up. If you haven't already listened to that, go listen to that and give us a little bit of feedback. We might do some more if any big games are coming up, which was pretty fun, to be honest. Had a bit of cereal chat.
Yeah.
Which is key.
Now bought my chocolate shreddies to try.
He's bought his chocolate
excited.
Shreddies. Also, another great cereal to throw in the mix before we go. Kellogg's Clusters.
Oh, Crunchy Nut Clusters. Can't go wrong, mate.
They are pinnacle. They're
so good. Mate, you can get the ones with the chocolate.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I had it this morning. He's top notch.
Yes.
But that's a little sneak preview into our another cereal debate. But thanks for listening, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the week and the week in the sport when you get there. Cool. In a bit.
Cheers.